पगली हेलो
अच्छा, in our previous discussion, we have discussed this slide. Actually, we have said that how these binary, octal, hexadecimals, and the floating point and the complex numbers can also be represented in Python. So continue with the same discussion. We'll go for some more different type of data types that are available in Python. The data types that are available in Python, some more data types is the Boolean literal and the special literal. These are the two different constants that are available. Literal means constants. So we have two different types of constants. One is Boolean constant, which is being assigned to true or false. And there is another special type of constants, non. I will tell you that what is this non is. For the time being, let us see that what is this true and false true or false literals are. But to remember, in the true and false, the first character is suppose I will say result equals to true. Result equals to true. So that means when I type result, it should return true. True means 1, false is 0. But this true, if I give it something like suppose result 1 equals to true. The first character, if I write as small letter c, it is giving an error. The first character must be as the capital letter in Boolean data type. In Boolean data type, the first character is capital, correct, for the true and false. So either I will write true or false. So these are the two data types that are being available in Python. There is another special type of data type that is available in Python, is called the none. None means nothing. That means it is not zero. If I say a variable is declared as none, if I say there is a variable temp equals to none. If I write temp equals to none, see over here. If I type temp enter, it is not returning anything. It is not returning space, not returning 0, not returning 0.0, nothing. So if a variable is declared as none, it is not 0. If it will be 0, then 0 has some value, right? 0, it will be treated as integer. It will not be space. If I put space over there, it will be treated as a character. So none means it is neither an integer nor a character or any other data type. It's only if the value is nothing. Is that clear? It is similar to the data type that you have if you have read the database. I think in the second or third semester you must have read the database. No, you have not read the database perhaps. In this semester you read. So you'll encounter a variable none over there.
Sir,
hello.
the difference between null and non.
The null is not over here. Null is not present in Python. Null you have used in C language, and null is a kind of pointer where nothing is, a kind of memory allocation where no memory is being allocated or is pointing to none of the memory location. Here none is a literal, is a data type, is a data which is, it doesn't contain anything. So null itself is used in C language particularly to pointing to none of the memory location. So here it is not related to the memory location. None is nothing only. That much we can have. The data having neither an integer nor a float nor a character, nothing. Now you might be asking about, if it doesn't contain anything, what is the use of none then? If it is not an integer, character, float is nothing, then why you will use it? The use is that, suppose I take the temp equals to none. Later I want to use it as integer or float, I can change it. Correct? Let us go for over here. This slide will tell you that how the non keyword actually pops. If I say none equals to 0, it will return false. Why it is there? None is not integer. So therefore, none equals to 0 will return you false. Is none equals to space? That also returns false, because none is not equals to space. Is none equals to false? That also returns, because it is not a Boolean variable. It is not a Boolean variable, so it will return false. Correct? So if I write none is a value, is nothing. If it is 0, no, it is. If none equals to 0, it is false. If none equals to a space, if none equals to a space, no. If none equals to false or true, like that, no. Correct? So neither integer nor a space nor a Boolean data type, nothing. So if I write, suppose two variables are assigned to none, but we can compare two variables. For example, if I write x equals to none and y equals to none. Try to understand, x and y are two variables which are assigned to none. I can compare if x equals to y. This comparison is allowed. X none, y none. If x equals to y, return you true, because both are none. So these data types return both are none. So comparison will return you the true. Correct? So x is none and y is none. If you compare x and y, it should return true. So Next, we'll go for some operators that are being used in Python. These are the operators which are generally being used in C language as well. The operators like unary operators, the plus, minus, bitwise operator, and the not, logical negation. These are being used as a unary operators. Not logical negation means not A, not B, like that. Bitwise complement. So whatever the bits wise there, all these bits will be complemented. Suppose A is equal to 65 and I negation of A. Negation of A means all the bits are being complemented. All the bits are being complemented. Arithmetic operators like plus, minus, into, divide, the modulo, power, integer division, all these are the arithmetic operators that are being used. These are also there in your C language. B2H, perhaps this is not there, only the integer division, all other are there. The bitwise operators, all these bitwise operators and or all these bitwise operators were there. Along with these bitwise operators, this complement operator is also a bitwise operator. So the complement operator is a unary and bitwise, and it also has all relational operators like greater than, less than, greater than, equals to, less than, equals to, equals to is comparison, equals to, that is given double equals to. Not equals to can be given as not symbol with equals to or to or two greater than symbols. Correct. So the different operators that are being used is the different assignment operators, the logical operators, and logical operators are and or. You have to write in this way. It is not double ampersand. You have to write and or. It's not double ampersand or the pipeline symbol that is being used for and or. You used in C language. And then you have membership operator. Membership operator we will discuss later. Membership operator means suppose in a set or in a list many items are there. You want to check whether it is in that list or not, whether it is not in the list or whether it is in the list or not. In that case, the membership operators are used. As we will be discussing when you go for list and tuple, the other data types. So these are the operators. And the punctuators, these are the punctuators. Punctuators are what? The symbols, those are used to organize sentence structure and indicate the rhythm and emphasis of expression, statement, and program structure. We can use all these symbols as the punctuators. The at the rate, brackets, slash, hash for making comment lines. So all these can be used. The quotes, these are being used as the these are being used as the punctuators. Okay, this slide is an important slide over here. Try to remember why I put it this slide over here. The reason is that some programs we may use where the random number may be required. So therefore, I thought that a slide for the random number must be included over here. If we want to generate a random number, suppose I want to generate a random number, what I'll do, I'll just write import random. Import random. So that will import that will help you to generate a random number. How will you generate? So random.random will return you the random number. So that means if I write print random dot random, try to understand. So it will generate a random number and print it on your screen. So every time you give this command, it returns a different number, a different random number. Look over here, this is different random. So I execute for multiple times, every time it is giving a different random number. Is it or not? every time a new number is generated. Correct? So whenever you want to generate a random number, what you will do? Import random, then what you will write? Random dot random function. So that random number will be generated. How could you generate a 2-digit random number? I want to generate only 2-digit random number. Can you generate it? This is what it is, generating a random number between 0 and 1. See over here. It is generating a random number, but this random number is what? Between 0 and 1, because it is coming 0 point something. Correct? Can you tell
Yes,
how do you write? I want to generate a 2-digit random number. What should I do? What should I do so that a 2-digit random number will be generated?
So we have to give the range.
Range. Okay, okay. Just see over here. I can give the range. I just try to do it in programmatically. If I multiply by 10, what will happen? I will multiply the number, whatever is generated. Suppose this is the number that it will generate. This is the number that it will generate, and I will multiply with 10. What it returns? First digit dot. Is it understood what I am saying? If I multiply with 100, what will happen then? Then definitely it will be 2-digit dot, because I am multiplying with 100. If I have to digit 3-digit numbers, then what I'll do? I'll multiply with 1000. Yes. So, but I want only 2-digit number. I don't want these point values also. So what I'll do? I'll just make a integer part of all this. If I take the integer part of all this, so a random number will be generated. So that means this number is 16 point something. And in return, actual random number is what? Actual random number is 0.16 something it would be. Then it is being multiplied by 100, so that's 16 point something. Then I take the integer part, it returns only 16. Is it understood what I am saying? Similarly, you can generate 2-digit, 3-digit random numbers or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the way you can do. Besides that, we can also give a range. We can give a range over there. Random.randint. Random.randint. Here I can give a range. Suppose I want to generate a number between 10 to 9900. I want to generate a number between 10 to 100. That means till 99 it will take. Correct? Just see over here. 10 to 100 means 100 will not be included. Up to 99 it will be. So random.rand. So this is returning 12. So you go on what? If I execute it once more, it is giving, you see over here, every time a new number is generated. Correct? Every time a new number is generated. Similarly, I can also go for, suppose I want to have 3-digit number, I can start with 100 and I can go for 1000 and I can have a 3-digit number. Correct? So randint function can be used for generating to a random number integer between a pair of values. A set two limit are given, lower limit and higher limit. In between that, it will generate a number. Is that clear? Suppose I have print. Just see over here. Can you tell me what will be the value? What is the value that will be generated by this? What is the range of values that this command will generate?
3, 4, 5 or 6.
3, 4, 5 or
6.
sorry, I have.
Sir, you have not used bracket.
That I am writing. So, so it will generate, if it will generate 3, so 3 minus 3 will become what? 0. Are you getting me? The minimum value it can generate is 3. Maximum is 10 over here. So if it is minimum is 3, 3 minus 3 it will give you 0. So if it generates a 4, 4 minus 3 is 1. So that means the random number generated is 4. So I just, whenever I go on typing, it's giving the same value. Let it be some. So not necessary that it will always come the same value. You can see over here every time. So this, sorry, I have told you what this is not included. This is also included. The 10 is also included. So that whenever 10 is generated, 10 minus 3 is 7 it is printing. So inclusive of both the values, inclusive of upper limit and of lower limit, both. Correct? So by using the random function, I have first written, do remember, first I have to go for import random. This is the package. Random is a package that is being imported. Like you in C language, you do hash include. In Java, you do some including your packages, import star, Java star, like that. Here also you have import random, and all this random function is available inside this package random. Is it understood, the random function? Can you generate a random number of any range or not?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll go for how to, in a program, in a Python program, what are the things are there? What are the things that are being present in a Python program? We'll see over here. If you take a complete program of Python, a Python program may have some lines of statements, it may have a function, it may have some lines with starting with a hash symbol. This is something like this. Just see over here. The first 2 lines starting with hash symbol. So I am not going through the code. I am saying that what is the structure of the program? What is the structure of the Python program? See here. The first 2 lines, these are the some lines are started with the hash symbol. Some lines are started with hash symbol. So any line starting with hash symbol is a comment line. So these 3 lines are comment lines, which are in the green color. This one, what you see, def cu with a bracket and all this. This is the function name. Cu is the function name. Def is the keyword that is used to define a function, and this is the thing that is to be executed. We'll read detail in function just to know that a function can be written in a Python program. This is something like a function. A function is called over here. This is the calling of function. Cu, this is the calling of function. The main program is like this. You don't need a main function and all this. This is present over here. The main function is over here. Correct? I have written some statement over here, and these lines will get executed. I will tell you, I have not gone through these if conditions and all this, but remember, this is the structure of a C program. Sorry, Python program. This is the structure of a Python program. Like the structure of a C program, you have hash include the main function, then you go for declaration of, sorry, before main function you go for global variables, then you have the declaration of variables, all those, then declaration of functions, you can calling of functions. Similar in the Python, this is the structure. Input output, already I have told you. Just to add if one line to your input output statement, I have told you input is the function that is used to input value to the from the keyboard. We have also a function called raw underscore input. Raw underscore input, the same, it does the same work, but raw underscore input is a function that is used in Python 2.7. Those are using Python 2.7, they should use raw underscore input rather than using only input function. Is it clear? If you are using the lower version of 2.7, then you should use raw underscore input. And one more thing you remember, in 2.7, in the print statement, you may not require to give the bracket in the print statement. If you are using 2.7 version, you may not require to give parentheses or brackets in the print statement to print the values or print the message. But if you are using 3.x, 3 point something, 3 point onwards, 3.6, 3.7 or 3.8, you have to use the input function. It is not raw underscore input, and in the print function you have to give the bracket. So see over here that we have given raw underscore input, and what it returns, it always returns a string type of value. It always returns a string type of value. So if I input what is your age and I input 5, so 5 is stored in age. So if I type to print age.5, this will give you error because age is what? Age is a string. So string cannot be added with an integer. So this gives you an error. Correct? So what I'll do, what is the solution? After inputting the value, then I have to explicitly convert it. It's a typecast. I have to convert it, typecast it. That typecast I have done over here by integer. Correct? If you want to input salary, which you need to floating point number, you have to convert it into float. String you don't have to convert because by default it is string. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Else what we can do, you input, okay, after inputting your age, you may convert it. Afterwards also you can convert it into integer. You will input your age. Here I am not using integer, and later I just convert it into integer, the same way. But what happens if you input your age as 16? If you input your age as 16 over here, suppose this is 16 you have inputted, it cannot be converted to integer, even if you write because 16 is in characters which cannot be converted to integers in this way. So if your input is a integer, then only you use the you can use the int to convert it. So next is in 3.7 onwards, or we can say 3.7, 3.8, all these we are using the input function. So I just use the input function to input it, and then we do some computations. Here also you do have to what you have to typecast each actually. Here is, you see, I have not using the typecast. So that means what I am inputting? I am inputting a string. So in the string form, I can write 40 plus 20 is a string that can be inputted. But we cannot have a mathematical operation over here. Correct? It will be treated as like a string only. Input is not a stable function for all installation, because I said input is only for 3.7 onwards or 3 onwards. It is not for the lower versions of Python. It is not meant for the lower version of Python. So it is not stable for all the versions. A print statement without any argument prints a blank line. If you want to print a blank line, just write print, that much, nothing, only print enter that. So it will just print a blank line. Sometimes in our program we want to print something, then I have to go for printing a blank line, then I must use a print with that blank, only print without any argument. These are the programs that I have already done in previous class. We have done up to this. The last in yesterday's lab class only we have done up to this. Some more programs are there, but I think it will be better if you could do it in your lab class. These problems I'll give it to the lab class to do. Now we'll come to the conditional statements. So we have read about the simple statements by using the input statement and all this to write a program. What about for the conditional statement, as it is there in other languages as well, in C or C++, Java, it is there a conditional statement. Here also how to solve this conditional statements. So the conditional statement that is being present in Python is the if statement. It is a popular, it's being used in most of the languages. The expression is same. It is test. If test expression, this is the colon. Colon is important over here. Then the statements. I'll tell you that how to do this work. See over here. Let me go for a file actually. File, new file. I go for a file. I want to input the age of a person and check that whether he can cast vote or not. It's a very. We'll start with a very simple program. So my program is to check the person can vote or not. That is my that is the work that I want to do. Okay. So I'll input the what? I'll input the age so that I can check that whether he can cast a vote or not. So I'll take the age as a variable and I write that in integer. I convert it into, then I have input enter your age. See over here what I have done. It will enter your age. It will ask for you to enter your age. This is the prompt or the message that will appear on the screen. We will input some value. That value will be converted to integer and it will be stored in age. Correct? So this is okay. There is no problem. Now we have to check that whether its age is greater than a particular value or not. So for that I will use if condition. If, see over here what I am doing. If age greater than equals to, this is the relational operator that we can use. If age greater than equals to 18, mark here, I am using colon. That means if age greater than 18, what it should do. So my expression, the condition is over. So I will press enter. See over here, when I press enter, it is coming to which line? The next line, but at this position. Even if it is not to this position, what will do? At least one tab will give. Are you getting me what I'm saying? You press enter, it will come over here. Otherwise, what will do, if it is over at the beginning, give a tab so that it will come over here. So any statement given after one tab will be automatically included inside the if. All the statements that are being written after one tab, after the if, will be considered as inside the if statement. Correct? So if I write something over here, print can cast a vote, correct? And here then I write, suppose I have written up to this only. If age greater than 18, he can cast a vote, correct? And then I have written that print end of my program, correct? But do remember where I have written this end of my program, again after one tab. After one tab I have written, this is also after one tab. That means both these statements are inside this if, correct? So let me run the program. I'll check that what the output it comes. Let I execute it over here. Enter your age. I input suppose 35. What it gives? It can cast a vote. If I execute the same program for one more time and see that what it is. If I execute the same program again, I input 10 suppose. Now what it is giving the output? It is not giving any output. Why it is not giving any output? Why it is not giving an output? Because these two statements are inside this if. If the condition doesn't satisfy, age is 10 that I have inputted. So if the condition doesn't satisfy, both these statements will not execute. Correct? So what I have to do, I just have to bring it at the beginning. So that Now this statement is not inside the if. This statement, second statement is not inside the if. So if you want to put any instruction inside the if, just give a tab. So all those statements written after if with a tab separated, then those will be considered as inside the if. You do not need to give a brackets over here like parentheses, braces, those are not required. That you used to do in C language. This is not required at all. So here you see, now if I go for executing the program by inputting the age as 10, still it is saying that end of my program. But previous case it was not showing because end of program was inside the scope of this if. Correct? So this is my if. So remember, if suppose I will give this, if I will forget to give this colon, it will give you one error over here. Just see over here. It is giving an error. So this colon is important. The colon is important. Correct? So if condition, if it is satisfied, it will execute the statement. So we have over here. So I have text expression. If it is true, the body part. If it is false, it will come over here, and that we already. So for example, if norm equals to 3, if norm greater than if norm is greater than 0, then print this. Print norm is positive number. Otherwise, this should print this one. You may execute the code over here. See. See over here, the norm is 3. If norm is greater than 0, then it should print. I have given more space over here. It should be just one tab. Just one tab. Correct? So the number is, this number is positive, or and then it will print. This should always be. So this line will always be printed or not. If the condition satisfies, it will come over here and come over here. If it doesn't satisfy, it will come over here. So this line is always going to be printed, whether the condition is satisfied or not satisfied. See, so 3 is a positive number. This is always printed because the condition satisfies. For example, if it is not, suppose I take -3, what will be the output? -3 is not greater than 0, but still this line will be get printed. You will find this is always printed because whether the condition satisfies or not, that line is always going to be printed on the screen. Is that clear? If you have multiple lines to be printed, you just type after that only. If you have multiple lines to be printed, you write over there. You write over here. So you can see over here, I have multiple lines. I execute. See, all those lines, even if I have not given any bracket, nothing, these are being getting printed. All those lines will get printed on the screen. Similarly, even if you take -1, I have changed it to -3 and I showed you. So this is the same thing. If it is -1 also, this may not be satisfied, but last line will always be get printed on the screen. That will always be get printed on the screen. see over, if you have a else statement, if I want to have a else statement in my program, the same thing, I want to check the number is what, positive or negative. I want to check the number is, positive or negative. I want to check. So I'll put a number. So let n equals to integer of input enter a number. Input enter a number. So I have to check it positive, number negative. What I will do, if n greater than 0, see I give a colon, if n greater than 0, print number is positive. See, now I want the else. So if you have a else, again followed by a colon. See, what is my intention is. Is it clear? So what do we have? We have a colon just after if, and we have a colon after else. So you may have a number of lines that is separated with one tab after the if. Those lines will come under if. There might be a number of lines after else you may write, and those must be separated by again one tab. I may have a number of lines over here. So if it is greater than 0, if it satisfies, this line will execute, these two lines will execute. If it is doesn't satisfy, I want to print another line over here, that will also get executed. For example, I have written this one. So these two lines, I have not given, even if I have not given bracket, these two lines will be executed if n is greater than 0. These two lines will be executed if the number is not greater than 0. And one line which I want to be printed always. Then I should not write it inside this if and else. So I will start it from the beginning itself. So I'll write this line will get printed always. For example, I have written this one. Correct? So I'll try to execute the program. Enter a number, I input 5. So the number is positive, silicon, this line will get printed, executed. If I execute the same program again with a negative value, so number is negative, the MCA whatever I have written, and this line will get printed always. So the line which is not inside the condition, is always executed. It's always executed. These two lines I have written inside the if condition, and these two are being written inside the else. Is that clear? So two things to be remembered. One is the if with a colon symbol is must. This colon symbol is must. Then you have a number of statements after one tab. Else must also be followed by colon, and then all statements having one tab. Correct? And this is the flowchart for the same. This is the example. Norm equals to 3. If norm is greater than 0, then it is positive, or because it is given greater than equals to 0. Therefore, it is written positive or 0, otherwise the number is negative. Correct? This is the if else statement. Similarly, you can also have if elif else statements. You can have a number of elif statements. What you have to, if condition it will execute, if it is true it will execute, if it is false then you have another condition. If it is true that will execute, otherwise you may have another condition, or false you have another point. So this is being represented over here in this flowchart. Condition true part it will come over here. If it is not, it will again check the condition. If it is true, it will come over here. If it is not, then it go for the false one. So you may have a number of elif statements in your program. You may have a number of elif statements in your program. Just look over here. I have taken norm as 3.4, correct? If number is greater than 0, that means if 3.4 is greater than 0, it satisfies, so it will print what? Positive number, so it will print over here and come out. So once it is being satisfied over here, it will come out and print thank you. It will not go to the else part or elif part. If I have some value, suppose 0 I will input, so it doesn't satisfy, it will come to the else part, checks over here, if elif part it will check over here, if it is 0 then it will print and come out, correct? If it is some negative value, suppose -5, so it will not satisfy over here, it will go to the elif part, not satisfied, it will come to the else part, correct? So this is what the if elif ladder will execute. So just this is the program, two spaces are over here. Now one space, okay, and then I try to execute. There are some errors. Oh, that single character mark. The single quote that you give in Notepad and the single quote that you give in MS Word are not same. That is the reason this error comes. So I execute and I get this value, correct? And I may change it to some value negative, so for example, and I try to execute. See the negative number with thank you message. So I may execute the program for number of times with different values. See, for 0 it is, should give the message, why not come? Oh, this is sorry. If norm equals to 0, do this. So I should write 0 over here and check. So I'll just run it and check over here. See, it is 0, and so I based on my input, it's just changing the value. Is it clear? So it is, we have if, elif, and else statement. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We can also have if elif ladder. If elif ladder is somewhat like, if suppose I input a number, if it is greater than 0, then I can have another if it doesn't satisfy, I will have a print, else, like this. We'll do some problems also in the lab itself, but however, try to, till now we have not done any program on the if. Some programs I have today only I have explained. So in the next class maybe you will be doing some of the problems on the simple statements. I'll give some problems and then we'll go for the if statement itself. Some more slides are there on the if. I'll explain it maybe in the next class. I'll explain it already time, and the next class may start. So anyway, the next class we will go for continuing with this discussion only. Now for the today's class, if you have any doubt, you ask me now only. If you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. take the attendance. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not there. Roll number 4. 4 is not there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is not there. 11, 12, 13, 14.
Sir, 11, I am here.
That's 11 present. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
12. 31. Roll number 4. 4 and 31.
4 is not there, so he left.
Oh, left. Okay. So 4 is not there. 31 is also not there. Okay. Okay, all of you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.